I'm Vin,
And I'm Evan.
and we're the Cashflow Bros. Before we kind of get started, I just kind of want to chat with you something because even though this is Cashflow Bros and we're talking real estate,
Yeah.
here's another interesting cash flow business that I've kind of encountered. So you tell me what you think about this. But have you been noticing like really, really hot chicks just following your stories or sending you messages randomly like, hey, haven't talked to you for a while?
I usually ignore those.
Me too.
Okay.
But I've been getting them more and more and more. And it's made me think about it. I'm like, who the hell is behind this? Like, what's going on? And
Some bots.
right, exactly, right? And I was checking it out, doing some more research.
Yeah.
And this is like a whole industry.
Oh, crazy.
Meaning for the past 5 years, over like $5 billion have been scammed out of these bots. Like these bots have scammed these people out of like $5 billion.
Wow.
Right? So what a crazy business proposition. So I'm like,
it's a scam business.
yeah, it's a scam. So if you're looking for another cash flow, business.
I don't know about that, but one of my buddy, fell for it. They talk to these hot chicks for some time online and get to the point where he starts sharing FaceTime videos, and she was asking him to get naked.
Okay.
And she used that video, or he from somewhere in, I don't know, third world country, using that video to blackmail him. And he had to pay up.
Okay. Well, in that case, I feel like he deserved it. Because come on, oh man, you're FaceTiming this chick.
Man, if you're gonna FaceTime someone that you never met and you're going naked, oh dude,
Yeah,
you deserve that.
Totally, bro. So no, I thought that was pretty interesting because I'm like, who is behind all this? I'm getting it all the time. All these hot chicks are always texting or following my stories. I don't know.
There's tons of cash flow business, bro.
Right.
But I think it's always, for me, the comfort zone is always been in real estate.
Of course.
And that's where I feel at home.
Legit.
That's where I feel safe. I've done all type of investment you
Yeah.
can think of. I've done from trading private notes all the way to stock trading, daytime trading, trading to the matter of minutes. Okay, we'll call it scalping, all the way to getting a white or black notes from a crypto company and launching some coins. And I think I've done it all.
Yeah.
Right? Owning businesses, restaurant, anything that I feel like I could get my hand on for cash flow. I think I've tried at least once or twice. But when it all comes down to real estate, that's just where my comfort zone is at.
No, I feel you, man. I mean, I think that's the cool thing about the world we're living in today is that there's so many different options. If you're broke, it's kind of your fault because there's so many opportunities out there. And obviously, one of the things that we love most is real estate. But there's so many opportunities out there. So,
But there's a difference between broke and poor, right?
That's right.
I've been broke so many times.
That's right.
And I think we're all kind of, whoever watching this video, if you haven't been broke at least once, you should at least try that.
Yeah.
Because it gets you in the zone, a mindset of, okay, what the hell did I do wrong? And, why did I just lost everything and everything I saved for? And if you have the mindset of keep going and not giving up, being broke, feel that. It gives you that energy of the thrive of being better and getting better each and every time. You get at least try broke once.
Yeah. Try broke once, maybe a couple times, but don't stay broke. Right?
Yeah. Don't be like Vin, like try broke all the time.
Hey, man, we're working on it. That's why we're doing this podcast. But no, actually, and also kind of before we get started too, I know that you just had a cool event happen, right? At VNARP.
Yes.
So VNARP is like, what is this, Vietnamese Networking Association?
It's a Vietnamese National Association of Real Estate Professionals,
Okay.
and we created an association just to represent all Vietnamese real estate professional within Silicon Valley area. But it's growing, it is thriving in other area where it's demand for representation for Vietnamese Americans that are doing real estate. Now, 60% of our attendees from the last event are non-Vietnamese, and why is that? Because there's a lot of people that are serving the Vietnamese community, and they like to network and they like to learn more about how our community works and created and how things are moving, right? And if you are not following Vietnam right now, money is floating there. So that can be the next purchase power. We're talking about some of the major chip companies that are now pulling the plug from China and they moving towards Vietnam.
Yeah.
So these are where the money moves. So you watch all that, that Vietnamese are the next buyer power.
Yeah. No, and why I like to bring that up is because I feel like, part of cash flow and to help you gain, like, to help you get rich, right? I'm just speaking in simple terms, like get there to where you're trying to go. It's all about networking and trying to meet all these people, because you're not going to get wind of these deals, these beginning positions of how you're talking about Vietnam with the chips and all that, right?
Yeah.
You're not going to really get wind of all that unless you start networking. And it's not just to say Vietnam, but any type of networking group, right? And like you were saying, 60% of people in Vietnam aren't even Vietnamese, so they know where to network. But no, I thought that was pretty cool. So, but in any case, I wanted to bring that up so that way get you guys thinking like, hey, if you're trying to get deals, trying to get cash flow, you gotta start shaking hands and meeting people and networking, right?
Yeah, and if you're watching this video and you're thinking about watching this can help you get rich, then you're at the wrong channel, because this is not about being rich.
Yeah.
We're teaching you how to be broke and get out of there and to build wealth over time. Now, when you talk about wealth, it's not something that happened overnight. You cannot get 5x, 10x something within a month or a year. This is where you build one brick at a time to where you feel comfortable with your wealth and your desire, and that you can actually slow down and enjoy your passive income.
Just like barbecue, baby, low and slow.
Low and slow,
rolling.
keep it smoking.
But cool, man. No, I'm really excited for today's episode because last time we talked about why we both like real estate as our cash flowing investments. But what I really want to get into with you, especially, is kind of what you've got that's cash flowing.
Yeah.
Right. We want to let people know, like, why should you listen to us? Because if we don't have any cash flowing properties, what the hell are we talking about?
Now, so if you follow me to the past, where I've done a lot of classes and also podcasts, or even appear in some of the local events where I talk about maximizing your passive income through short-term rentals. So I'm kind of guy that wanted to stay investing in Silicon Valley, but I need an equation that can provide me positive cash flow versus going out of state. A lot of my friends went out of state, making a killing. All kudos to them. Personally, we like to stay in Silicon Valley. We're thinking that there's a lot of potential here still. However, we know that Silicon Valley is so expensive. The entry level is a little more tougher, but also to the ability or the opportunity to cash flow, it's way harder. So, one of the examples I like to share a lot is a property that we acquired about 3 years ago, and we're able to apply that concept, and we call it a hybrid model, because we like to see, okay, with this property, we're buying at $970,000. It was a great deal at the time. Why we bought it was it is a 95125, so like a Willow Glen zip code, and you're like few blocks away from SAP Center, and we all know what's happening at that SAP Center. Google is building out a Google Village, an urban living Horizon 5, I believe. It's similar concept to what they're trying to do at Santana Row now. It's live and work concept. So the Google Village will have all that built out by Google, and we're just like a few blocks away. Mm-hmm. Now, we bought this property, and we know that it's going to take about 10 to 15 years before all these ideas become reality. But why we bought it is we're looking at this property is, one, it's a duplex. Two, it has a great corner lot,
2 for 1,
about 9,000 square feet, that we know that City of San Jose is endorsing the ideas of splitting a lot, go through the SB9 program. So we know that potentially we can split the lot and build another house. And thirdly, it is a duplex with a lot of rooms, and we like bedroom because we can rent it out by the rooms. We all know that 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom apartment in downtown San Jose area can run you anywhere between $2,800 to $3,200 a month. And it might be towards $2,800 nowadays, but the rental market here is getting hotter and hotter, right? Hence, the housing market is very pricey, and the interest rates are high, so more people are looking to rent as an option. So we know that this property, we can convert it to room rental. So why we call it a hybrid model, because on top floor, we have 3 bedroom, 1.5 bath, and we're running it through Airbnb right now. Airbnb is seasonal. It is coming back very strong for the professional traveler that are booking that place. We can average anywhere between $35,000 to $4,000 a month in gross income, right? The middle unit right now, you can actually rent it out for, it's a 2 bedroom, 1 bath. So you probably get anywhere between, I would say, $28,000 to $3,000. So right there, we're looking at maybe close to $7,000 in rental income. We also legalized the basement because at the time the basement it's already 8-foot ceiling.
Oh, nice.
So we legalize it. We go through a process. Now that property we bought for $970. We invested it over $300,000 at a time. Now with the cost of construction nowadays in San Jose, you can't even do that in $300,000 anymore.
Where did you buy this house?
This is I would say 3 years ago, so maybe 2000 or
2018, 2019?
yeah. No, that's we're in 23 now, so 19. Yes, probably 2019. Don't remember exact, but it was a great deal. We got it off market from a real estate agent in Keller Williams.
How'd you find this off market? Oh, from the agent?
From an agent. Like I say, I'm an agent. I'm a real estate agent as well. And what I like to do is network with a lot of real estate agents, especially with Keller Williams, because I'm part of Keller Williams. So a lot of agents know me for the guy that love to buy fixer-upper. So whenever they have a property that they feel like is going to be challenging for the market and might not qualify for a loan, they call me first and they say, Evan, you want to take a look at this property to see if it works out for you. And I am forever grateful for those phone calls because now I can take a look at the deals, the first dip, I can analyze it. And sure enough, this property, it was a situation where we had to come in and kind of bail out the seller at a time, help them with the deposit, and then bother deal with cash so they don't lose everything to court or the lawsuit that they were under. So we got a great deal. We spent $300,000 into renovation, and now just with the basement too, we're now generating roughly right about $10,000.
Okay.
$10,000 in rental income. So we got Airbnb and we got long-term and got long-term, right? But also in addition to that, the lot is big. So we know that we're going to split the lot down the line. However, we wanted to test out the concept of having an Airstream. So you guys don't know what the Airstream is. It is the Ferrari of RV. It is it looks like a bullet. It makes out of aluminum or metal, and it all inside very trendy, very chic.
Yeah.
And people like to stay in that kind of.
It's Instagram friendly, right?
It
so
is.
Everybody likes to look like kind of the classic RV streamer, get likes, but that's a good point that you bring up because that's how you get people to rent out that Airstream and rent out that property.
People on short-term rental platform like VRBO or Airbnb looking for an experience. They don't want to just go and stay at a 12-foot by 15-foot bedroom and then you got a microwave. Then you have to go downstairs to use, the Wi-Fi, or you have to pay for Wi-Fi in your room.
Yeah,
all
that's not
these
gonna
things.
get you likes.
Yeah, so they wanted to stay in style, and especially they traveling. They say, why not? Let's just check out the Airstream. So that one right there generate anywhere between $25,000 to $3,000 a month.
Outside of the 10,000.
Correct.
Wow, that's
Correct.
freaking awesome.
So
man.
so now you do the calculation. We're able to capitalize during the drop of the interest rate. So we have a 3.25% interest rate for the
Nice.
duplex. And we generate anywhere between 12 to 14,000, depending on the season of Airbnb, and that's the type of cash flow property that we like. And doing that cap conversion, we're performing over 6-7%. You can't find that somewhere in the Bay Area, so that's what kept us keep investing in Silicon Valley.
Why don't you explain to the people a little bit about your cap calculation and why that's important?
Yeah. So cap calculation is basically, your NOI over the what you put in.
Net operating
right?
income.
Net operating income. So after you deducting all the expenses, how does your money performing compare versus other type of assets? If I would have put in a bank, or versus a stock account investing in the SP 500. So I have a net operating income over what I invest in to see how I perform, and I match that up with other type of assets. But what real estate also provide, and we mentioned in the previous episodes, that is number one, I can leverage this. I can actually refinance, cash out. We bought for $970. We put $300,000 into it. It will probably worth anywhere between 1.9 to 2 million right now at the moment. So I also have instant equity that we add value to this property right after we finish with permits and everything.
So a couple of things there, because there's a lot to unpack. But first of all, how did you get, because you said you bought the place cash, how did you get the cash to buy and fix it?
I mean, that's excellent questions. I think when it comes down to this topic, it would need maybe a longer sessions to explain how do you raise fund. But this particular property, we use a mixture of our 1031 exchange, meaning that we sold one of the rental properties and we exchanged to it, and then we also use some of the private fund that can from our private investor, and we pay them either a fixed rate or something like that. They can give us a private notes that lean towards the property, and then we use that to acquire the property with cash. When I say cash, doesn't mean money under my pillow, bag of cash that I pay. It's actually money in the bank, but not necessarily my bank. Now it came from two different sources for this property. One from a 1031 exchange, a rental property somewhere that I sold with great value, and I used that and I added to escrow. Then I'm short about $300,000-$400,000, so I contact one of my private lender and I say, I need a note. Can you give me a note with no prepayment penalty? What we did is we did everything we can to acquire that property a very short period of time. We closed it in less than 2 weeks, right? And we jumped right into renovation. Now, renovation took us a long time. That property took us over 8 months because every time you deal with the city and getting permits, and this is before COVID. So after COVID just made everything a lot worse. So just time 2x. That's where you can get 2x. It's go and apply for a city permit and sit there, wait double time longer than what it used to.
So 8 months, you were just sitting there and you were holding on to that carrying cost.
Expenses, yes.
Right?
So we have to calculate all that in our initial underwriting. We have to calculate when it comes down to looking at this property. We add in acquisition costs. We add in renovation costs. Renovation costs got a lot higher than what we estimated, but again, that happened, right? But we know the value is there to back us up. Then we add in holding costs. Like, hey, if we're gonna have to hold this for a year, who do we have to pay, and what do we need to do? Then we calculate all that. I was like, okay, still makes sense, right? We didn't anticipate for it to worth like close to $2 million now, but it is what it is. The value took off right after that. So what it is we did all that calculation and we did a projection of rental income. And that projection gave us the cap rate, and I mentioned on potential net income over what we invest in, give us a 6% plus. We're like, wait a minute, this is a great purchase because you don't get the average cap rate in Silicon Valley right around 5%. It's right about 4%. Yeah. Like, it's really hard to invest here, and I understand why investors are going out of state. But I talked to my friends that own a portfolio somewhere in out of state. Their appreciation percentage is not as good as ours.
And that's
right?
the name of the game in Cali.
And then when they sell the property, it takes a little longer versus us. When we can put this property on the market and probably be sold within 2 weeks or so, because people are looking for great rental properties.
Yeah, no, and I think that's why it goes back to what we were talking about right at the beginning with VNARP, meeting all these people, networking, because you wouldn't be able to fund this deal and even find this deal if you weren't shaking hands and meeting all these people, right?
And if you're a real estate investor looking at this video and you're like, hey, I want to invest in real estate, where do I find deals? And Vin mentioned it, it's being part of any organizations, show up, network, shake hand, let them know exactly what you're looking for. And if you're not in real estate, get to know a lot of real estate professionals and let them know that, hey, I'm Vin and I'm looking to buy this type of properties. Call me when you want to move towards their top of the list, who they're going to call at the moment that they have something good.
Totally. No, and man, I hated networking, bro. I hated it because, just like a lot of real estate agents I'm sure you meet, we're like introverted extroverts. We're extroverts when we need to be, but really we're like, I don't want to talk to nobody. But a story, a real quick one, but I was in a Tom Ferry. It's like a business coaching thing where I have to network with a lot of people that's out of state and whatnot. And I didn't think anything of it. I was just trying to learn. But from that class, I met some old lady. Well, I mean, no offense, but older lady from Texas who's also a realtor, but had clients here in Cali. And she didn't know anyone else from San Jose, California. So she was like, well, let me talk to this young Asian kid over here who's a real estate agent, and got myself a deal. And that was probably one of my biggest deals that I've ever sold. That was like 1.8 last year, a couple years ago.
Yeah, I think if you're in real estate and you're watching this video, it's always wise to network out of your area, because you don't want to be in the room with a bunch of local real estate agents. You want to be in the room with like the only San Jose agent, and then you're in San Diego or somewhere that they say, okay, when I have the next deal, I want to talk to someone that I actually shook hands with, and that's have to be you.
It goes back to, I always think of this saying that I heard, where it's like, you can get lucky, but you can't get lucky just sitting on the couch. You got to put yourself out there, right? So, But I kind of want to get into the nitty gritty of this because that's a crazy deal that not a lot of people will get inside info on. But
Yeah.
what was the holding cost that you guys had to incur, and how did you guys pay that?
The holding cost, I remember, roughly around $4,000 a month.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah,
That's not too crazy.
It's not too bad,
Yeah.
and it's accumulated over 8 months. And right after we finished everything, we were able to, again, another group that you need to network with are mortgage lenders. And we had a mortgage broker, and they had an unconventional program that actually lent to type of these property and type of the clientele. And we are the type of clientele that's really hard to get loan because we're, number one, self-employed, and number two, we're relying on the projection of income. Okay, so meaning the property have to produce some sort of income for them to add it to their portfolio. So we talked to them, and they're like, we like the property, we like you, thankfully, and they rolled us a loan for a 30-year fix at 3.25%. So that's how you recourse the loan and cut down your holding costs, and now you cash flow more. So one of the way to increase cash flow is to lower down the cost of carrying it.
Nice. Now, I kind of want to get into. So, do you still have this property?
I still have it. It's in my long-term portfolio. I don't think we're ever going to sell it,
And
because I think this property going to go either 2x or more when Google Village is fully developed.
Yeah, I mean, whenever that is, they keep saying next 5 years, next 5 years.
It's okay.
But yeah, as long as
wait.
you keep holding on to it and the holding cost, you're still okay. Then it's gonna pop off.
Here's
right?
the mindset. If you are in real estate investment, buy something that you don't have to sell. But when you sell something, like, you don't have to sell it.
Yeah, that's right.
So one of my mentor, he's not a flipper, but he made a killing on the deals that he touched, because he always put himself in the mindset that he sell like he don't have to sell it. So when the price is right, then he sell.
Right. So you got this right now, and it's fully occupied.
It's fully occupied.
Is
It's
it long term, mid term, short term?
correct.
What are you doing?
It's all just short term and long term right now. We're waiting for the business traveler, that's now just kind of opening back up again. Then we're gonna release it more short-term rental.
Nice. What are you getting from the long term?
The long term right now we're fixed right around 6,000 a month.
Any issues?
No, like I say, we can talk about that in a different topic. But rental, it's all about finding the right partner, and your property manager should be in your top 5 people you call, and make sure that they take care of your property and look out for your best.
And then the rest, the 4K or the additional 2K is short term Airbnb.
Airbnb at the moment.
Nice, man. Dude, that's fire. I mean, that's just one deal. I kind of wanted to get into your whole portfolio, but I think that's already a good episode right there. Just how do you cash flow, 12K? Oh, well, I mean, you minus your expenses 4K, right?
Yeah.
But, I mean, you're capping out 6-7%. That's not bad. But hopefully you guys found that episode helpful. I think what I got from it is network. Be interested, be interesting, talk to people, let them know what you're trying to do, make meaningful connections, and you never know where you can find a deal.
Yeah, if you find 20 real estate agents in the local area that you are looking to invest in, and you just email them maybe every 2 weeks and say, hey, I'm Evan and I'm interested in this type of property. And when you have something to come across, please send me an email or call me. Here's all my information. And by the way, here is my proof of fund. I'm ready to go. So I love the opportunity to work with you. And if you keep on doing that, eventually deals going to fall on your lap.
Yeah. And on top of that, what I've also experienced is when you talk like that, keep your promises, right? If you get an opportunity, freaking go for it and make sure you do everything you can to make it happen, because the real estate world, even though there's a lot of people in it can be really small. And if you got one bad reputation, it only keeps you from getting more deals, right? So,
right.
I kind of wanted to do this before at the beginning of the episode, but something interesting that I think we should start doing
Sure.
is we got like a kind of a deal, a little gentleman's agreement for us and the viewer, meaning we're trying to blow up. We're trying to get this info out to all the people so everybody else can cash flow and do and retire and do whatever they want, right? And live the life that they want. But for that to happen, we need you guys to subscribe. We need you guys to share. We need you guys to get this out there. So I haven't brought this up to you yet, but I'm sure you'll agree to it. But if you subscribe and you share and you comment, and if you let us know, send us a DM and screenshot or whatever, as long as you let us know you did that, you'll have a chance to have a sit down with me and Evan, 1 hour, and we'll just sit down and go through a game plan with you on how you can start cash flowing on your first property. What do you think of that?
Sounds good.
Yeah?
I'm down for that.
Let's do that. So like, subscribe, comment, whatever. Let us know once you do. We'll figure out when we pick and who we pick, and then we'll get you guys started. But yeah, that was a fire episode. What'd you think?
I like it. Let's do it.
Peace.